I thought I knew what I was going to say, but I guess I just didn't know what I was going to say. But you want to know something? I'm going to figure it out because that's my job. That's what I do. Yo, listen, Beeline, what's up? It's Tuesday again. It seems like it's back to back at this point because it's like it literally goes so fast, especially with the entertainment show. I hope you guys really enjoyed the entertainment show last week. That was a really special one, of course. You know, my father was on it and everything like that. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Check it out, Beeline. What's good, yo? It's your boy, Ryan B. We back at it. And you can see we got a screen on the screen once again. And we got a returning guest. And it's a podcast. Mike Stover's back on the Beeline. Check it out. He got new stuff to talk about. We're going to hear it. We're going to get there. Let's go.
Is what you call.
Yes. I love that new introduction. Listen, I don't know if y'all understand this, how much I was working on that. I was working on that introduction for like a month, man. And I wanted some new music, but I love the music for the introduction. So Mike, if you get a chance, you can go check it out, man. See the new stuff we got going on at the Beeline. We improving. We're trying to get big as we can, man. But thank you guys so much. It's your man, Brian B. here. Welcome to the Beeline once again. Thank you guys. Please like, share, subscribe, send the love, send the hate, send the like, send the great. I don't know. I'm talking everything. Listen, I had a couple of draggedy drags. I feel good. Hey, Mike, you got me on a good day here, man. I'm on. What's up,
what
bro?
you drinking?
Oh, listen, people be wanting to be on the energy type of Brian B. I almost call myself B Blazer. That was my old rap name when I used to rap back in the day. But hey, podcast. We got it going on today. Mike Stover from the Stoverload podcast. What's going on, Mike?
What's good with you, Brian? It's good to be back.
Yeah, sounds good, man. I'm really glad to talk to you again, bro. Actually, you want to know something? I went back and I watched our last podcast a little bit before we link back up to record again. And it was one part of it. I put a clip out of it. I think you liked it. I put a clip of it out. I kind of shortened it and it was when we were talking about like the dating websites and stuff. And we were talking about how people go out on dating websites. And I was talking about the text messages. You send somebody a text message and then it takes them fucking 40 minutes to send you another.
Yeah. And that's still a problem.
I was laughing so hard because I forgot about that conversation. I was watching it while I was in my truck or whatever. And I was sitting there like, yo, listen, you said send somebody a damn text message. They take you 45 minutes to send it back. You already doing something else. You ain't even thinking about that shit.
Yeah, then you got to play the fool and forget what the hell they were talking about. Bro, you just come back with what? Like, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm telling you, man. But that shit was funny. But Mike Stover's back. He's going to talk a little bit about what he's been up to. And, Mike had a really good interview. Yo, check it out.
No, but I was that kind of guy that would walk in and be like, you know what, it'll be funny. I'm going to go into the dressing room, wait about 15 minutes and yell out to the attendant, hey, I need more toilet paper in here.
Yeah, like jokes. That's like that's like
jokes,
pranks,
you know what
and
I
stuff
mean?
like that. Yeah,
but now people see that you do it once and everybody else starts saying it. Now everybody's doing it,
trying to top it. That's what's even worse. I mean, somebody will go in there and take a shit in the dressing rooms now, for real.
Yeah, or someone will say, hey, I need another magazine. The cup's not full yet.
Yeah. That was from the last time. That was when Mike was on before. And really good conversation, man. This guy's real cool, man. But he's very big with the music, man. We were talking a lot about the wrestling, had a past history in wrestling as a commentator and stuff like that. But he's really big with the rock music, man. And his podcast is amazing. I heard it. I was listening to the Rock Block even before I started the show today. So Mike, how's the show been going, man? How's life, man? Tell us where you've been.
Show's been going pretty good. We've actually been I've been really surprised with the amount of feedback and the amount of attention it's gotten, because originally, as I said in the last episode, I started it to help out musicians because of COVID. Yeah. And now a year later, you know, we've definitely grown. We give new opportunities to artists with every season. That's why every season with our intro music, it's always changing. It's another way to give opportunities to musicians. You know, exactly. You want to keep it diverse. You want to keep changing it up. You don't never want to stay the same forever, else you
very true. Boring. Stagnant, man. Know?
Yeah, but yeah, we had a lot of good turnouts. We had a lot of new faces, a lot of new artists come on the show. The rock blocks have become the go-to for the show.
Oh yeah, that's what I was listening to. Like right before I started recording tonight, like I was listening to it. I'm like, damn, you got some really nice sounds on it. I think the first song that popped on the last rock block you had, I think it was your rock block number 10. The first song took me straight back to like the 90s, bro. I don't know why it was like a 90s vibe. And it was like one of those, like, you know, you chilling in like the lounge and you're just listening to like that classic rock kind of feel. And then all of a sudden it got to the chorus and it was like, dun, 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 dun. I was like, oh shit, I'm alive now. Come on now.
That's the good thing about cool. Those, man. That's what we love about the rock blocks, is that you get a variety of artists you won't find on the mainstream, but they're probably just as good, maybe even better. And it's a whole big world. And for us to have just doing our 10th rock block, that's pretty big in just a year.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. One thing about music, yo, is like, you know, as you guys just saw from, you know, my latest episode on the entertainment show, like, you know, I've been in music my whole life. You know, my father actually schooled me on a lot of things. I didn't realize that my grandmother and my grandfather were touring, and you know they had an album out back in the 70s. I think it was the 60s or 70s, and you know I didn't know any of this stuff, and he kind of like really dropped a lot of knowledge on me. But yo, music is life, man. Music is life. You know, it's generationally passed down. Changes. It's like you said about staying stagnant. You have to be able to explore new. And I think that one of the craziest things about, we were having this conversation, I don't know if I had it with you, but I know we've been having it on the show, about people are you know, having these subscriptions to Spotify and you know, Apple Music and stuff like that, and then they build their playlists, and that's pretty much what you're listening to, unless you're listening to some podcasts or something like that. But you're listening to music that you're choosing at your choice or whatever. But when you're able to experience new music, and or people who deliver new music that you may have never heard of, gives you the chance for discovery, you know.
Right.
And I think that's really important, you know, because you used to rely on the radio heavily for that. But the radio wasn't as popular as it used to be, man, because you have things on demand now.
Well, back then in the radio days, I mean, you had to have patience.
Yeah.
And you had to remember, and you had to know what night to tune in, because if you sometimes on some nights, if they had nothing scheduled, they just replay the same thing over and over again, and you wouldn't really get nothing new, and they just left it all to like an automated system.
Yes, sir.
Which is kind of like what it is today with our apps, but you have more control over it.
Yeah, very true.
You know, that's what I love about the rock blocks that we do. It kind of has that old school feel with it, where you got a radio host introducing every band.
Yeah.
You know, and shout out to Steve Jones at KRMA Radio. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and that's just the great thing about it. It's something new, it's something refreshing, and every rock block is different. You're always getting new artists.
It's awesome. That's really cool, man. So let me ask you, I think I asked you on the last show, but just kind of refresh. How do you find the artists that want to come? Do they come to you, or you kind of just like sort them out from hearing their songs or anything?
Believe it or not, I've been found by people as opposed to me having to put in a lot of work to find them. A lot of that's been changing. I've been getting a lot more emails now. I've been having PR reps contact me for opportunity to have their artists played. And I'm like, not a problem.
Yeah, for real.
Not a problem. Problem is, though, sometimes I get so many, I'm only given so much time on these rock blocks. So I'm like, yeah, here you go. And I'll get a phone call later. Mike, you're about an hour and a half over than what we're going to let you do. And I'm like, crap. All right, we'll split it up.
For sure. Do they come on and do interviews as well? Like they come on and talk about like
most of the time. Most of the time, that's kind of how I'm trying to do it. Is that if they're on my rock block, you can expect them to have an interview.
Gotcha. That's really cool. Yeah, I think that's really important, man. Giving people an opportunity to have a platform so they can speak on their you know, the progress or where they're looking to go, or just to be able to have somebody lay eyes on them. I always talk a lot on this, you know, I get a lot of people contacting me, and either they want to come on the show, or they want to talk, or they want to do this, or they want to do that. And a lot of times I worry, and I'm like, oh man, I'm not big enough platform yet. I'm not this. I want people to come on when I'm, really successful. I have 1,000 people watching me, and this and that. But you don't think, man, that one person coming on, even if 3 people are watching your show every week, if you have a dedicated fan base of 3 people, you don't know who those 3 people are. You don't know who those people know. You don't know anything about those 3 people. You have to push it like you have 1 billion followers every day. Because you never know who's going to come on and hear that song that you play on your show, and then they hear it and then push their name into a direction that they need to be in. It only takes one person, man. So it's important. Don't hold yourself
the little stuff
back.
can make the biggest difference.
Yeah. I'm still learning that through this process right here. But I love it, man. You've been doing your show since COVID, you said, right?
I started it at the very beginning when COVID had just broke out, because music is my escape from reality.
Yeah.
It's the one escape we can all have, where I don't want to say like you're not going to encounter agenda pushing in there, but you might, debating on who you're listening to.
Okay.
But not as much as you would as if you were watching like a TV show or a movie or the news or something like that. Music's always been the one constant that you can like lose yourself in, and you can forget about your troubles. You can forget about the world. You know what I mean? You can get that constructive release. If you're having a bad day, you throw on some metal. Just don't trash your living room. If you're in a chill mood or something like that, you throw on maybe some blues, some jazz, or something a little bit more laid back. And if you're feeling depressed, well, that's what country's for.
Listen, bro, all day in R&B. I'll tell you right now, got me through a lot of little breakups and stuff like that in the past. I do miss certain things. It's funny we having this conversation. It's putting my mind in like a whole different little area right now. But you said it best right there. It's interesting how music does stay pretty consistent as far as how it makes you feel. It does take you out of the element and kind of put you where whatever you're listening to is that vibe, whatever you want to call it. Like that's where it's kind of whatever you want to call it. But when you watch a movie and stuff like that, like it can make you think differently. And when you said agenda, I knew exactly what you're talking about, because movies do have it speaks to you in a different way, because they do put in elements to describe how everything's going in the world currently, or how things could be going, whether it be like just we've been talking a lot about like the softness of the world, basically.
That's
like everybody like how everybody's kind of like super touchy, super sensitive, but in a way it's like there's some things that are positive about it, but there are some things that are very negative about it. And the movie's depictions of it, whether it just be like simple things like turning superheroes white or black, listen, it's a lot of shit to me I just don't understand why you're consistently making changes to things that don't need to be changed.
Exactly.
If you want to invent something new, but don't sit there and jack up the history of something, or like the quality of something, because you're trying to make a statement because of how society is changing. Like
like,
it's funny you say that.
It's funny you say that, because I heard they were talking about making a She-Ra movie. If you remember She-Ra from the He-Man universe back in the day. And I commented on it, and I had said, if there's no agenda pushing in this, and it's based strictly off the story that many grew up on as a superhero fighting evil with no agendas, this could be pretty cool. And out of nowhere, here comes the haters and the lefts and the millennials. Everybody's having something to say. Well, so it shouldn't be modernized? You're homophobic? I'm like, no, not at all. But that never played any part into the story whatsoever.
I think it's stupid. I think it's dumb. I mean, if you want to create your like a role model for, I understand what's the logic behind it, but I don't understand why you have to take something and recreate it to appease a certain audience. Like I definitely understand if you guys want to create a new character, create a new guy. Like give somebody something. What are you defacing another fucking thing for? Like changing exactly everything they are. My argument started when they were saying that they were going to make or they were thinking about making Michael B. Jordan Superman. And Michael B. Jordan is the guy, incredible actor, man. He played in Creed. He played in
Killmonger.
Killmonger, yeah, exactly, yeah. Incredible actor, man. He's amazing.
Yeah.
But as Superman, come on, bro. Like Superman is no, it's fucking not Superman.
But you know
I
what
can't
though?
pick up a comic and see Michael B. Jordan as fucking Superman.
But here's the thing though about
goofy,
that.
man.
I don't have an issue with that because if anybody watches the DC movies or the Marvel Universe movies, it's been explained very, very clearly. There are multiple realities, multiple different universes.
Yeah.
So it could work because it could be from a different universe. Just don't cast him as Superman and call him Clark Kent.
Clark
you know
Kent.
what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
Okay, hold on now.
That's making somebody different though. So that would be like at least understandable. But I'm talking about just like I remember they had made the Hulk like an Asian scientist or something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but why do you have to take an already established character and recreate it? Like, why can't you just make some new shit? Like, I don't understand what's
I've been saying the same damn thing because I'm not a hater when it comes to movies, but when it comes to the classics that I grew up on and the ones that I love, and I know the stories because they were the originals, then I see these remakes come along, I think to myself, you better not screw it up. And I saw the trailer to Candyman. I'm like, son of a bitch, there they go.
Bro.
There
I
they go.
I didn't watch it yet, but I've heard good shit.
I was so mad. So mad.
Did you watch it?
I saw the trailer, yeah, and I was mad. So mad. I'm like, you are ruining a classic.
They did keep Tony Todd in there. I'll give him that. I don't think they could have recasted him, bro. Tony Todd is incredible. One of the legends of the horror films.
Yeah.
But
the point being though is like I said though, like don't ruin classics, you know, and it's like be original. Like I heard they're gonna be remaking The Lost Boys.
Listen, if they do that,
leave that alone.
If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it good, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy, when they do remake something. Lost Boys was made in like the 80s. One of the for people who don't know, Lost Boys, spoiler, I feel like this is an entertainment show and shit. But the Lost Boys were was a vampire movie about like a group of vampires, a young teen group of vampires during like the the 80s rock days or whatever you want to call it,
late 80s, mid 90s.
Late 80s. Yeah, and they were sitting there like and they came across a family, and the family had 2 sons and blah blah, big story, but it was just a really like cool fucking 80s themed vampire movie, man.
Yeah.
And what I will say is I can see The Lost Boys is one of the movies where I can see if they do it correctly, they can make a really good modernized movie out of it. Like they can really do a really well movie.
Right.
It would have to be
if they do it right, but they better not try to make it. Don't replicate. Like do not try and replicate the original.
You're right. Like, listen. All right, this is actually a really good topic, Mike. This is a fucking good topic, guy.
Oh, I got another one. So go ahead.
You're here all day. Listen, the way they did it was
great,
incredible, bro. Like to me, way better than the original. Way better than the original.
Oh, I gotta say though, the original, you can't top the original, but they were able to make certain scenes more effective than what they could have done back then. CGI helped amplify some scenes. Yeah,
but also I know Tim Curry was incredible. He did his job. I mean, he was scary as shit because he was like a basic clown, but it was creepy as hell when his teeth would get sharp and stuff like when he was about to eat the kids. But it was like even his regular form was like, it was a basic clown. It wasn't like anything that was exaggerated to make him scarier. He was just creepy looking, like in the damn sewers and stuff like that. Even when you see him, his face, his smile was creepy as hell. Right. And everybody always remembers that. But my dude with the fucking eye that did it, listen, man, he destroyed that role, man. He did, listen, that
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, Bill Skarsgård. Yeah. He destroyed that role, man. I mean, it was just so much. The second movie, like everybody agreed, it was a lot more action-based. It wasn't as horror as the first one. But damn, that first one was incredible, man. I don't know, not to just talk about horror movies, but I don't know if you did you watch the remake to Space Jam?
Not yet.
Space Jam was actually, to me, was very well done, man. I like how they kept the concept of the first one, did respect to the first one, but added in new age shit to make it like, a more advanced version. So it's like they kept it the way they should have. They did very well with the Looney Tunes, and then they sat there and basically just modernized it. And I thought it was amazing, bro. Space Jam was actually a really good movie.
I got to check that
Yeah,
out.
it was really good. It was really good. Everybody, I know a lot of people would. You're ready to knock it because you, like you said, you're used to these classics that you grew up on, like they're a part of you at some point. But it doesn't mean that they can't do a good job when they do a good job. But
if they do a good job,
exactly,
and like
they
I said,
mess it up.
But back to the reboots, a good example is like Poltergeist. I grew up on those, all three of them. Amazing movies back then. And I think the reason being was because all of it was straight acting. And everything you saw and everything you saw done, there was no CGI back then. So a lot of that stuff that you watched back then, why I think it's so special to me is because you actually had to think about it and put yourself in it. It wasn't so much eye-pleasing like it is nowadays with all the
Very
CGI.
True.
And you kind of go brain dead watching something with all the pretty colors and the fancy graphics. But it's like with the Poltergeist, though. It's like I am so sick of people taking movies and having to do a remake. And I thought about it, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. If you're going to bite on the Poltergeist franchise, why don't you tell us a story why Carol Ann was so important to all those souls? What was the deal with the old lady and Kane?
Redoing it, redoing
the prequel.
it basically.
What happened before Carol Ann was born?
They've been doing shit like that too.
I would like to know that.
I forgot they had
a different side.
Prequel that they are actually making. I forgot which one it was. It was for one of the classic movies though. I know that they are doing a remake of The Exorcist, which I'm telling you,
You might as well do another Texas Chainsaw Massacre like we haven't had.
They're doing that too. Listen, right here. Doing that too for real,
man. And it's like I said, man. If you're gonna tell a story, give us a new story. Like Nightmare on Elm Street has always been a favorite of mine, and my best friend Alex Thorne, who does Night Terrors, and he does reviews on every one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies.
Gotcha.
And he makes so many good points, and he was the one that told me like there are so many scripts out there for a new original story that can be done, but there's a lot of legal binding issues that prevent it from happening.
I believe it.
And one of the cool scripts that I heard, I think that would be a great movie would be there's one script where kids were taking sleeping pills to go into Freddy's dungeon or boiler room. They go in there and bully him and mess with him because he's all old and decrepit and has no power. But then one of the kids slip and fall on the glove and dies in his dream, and Freddy gets a little bit of his power back, and that's how he starts to make his return.
See, that's kind of what they did in Freddy versus Jason. Because remember what Freddy did was he went and he tried to manipulate Jason because he was using Jason to bring fear onto Elm Street. So the kids that were there, you know what I mean? That was a good ass concept. Yeah, to bring Freddy his powers back. That was a really good concept on that level. I mean, I liked Freddy versus Jason. I thought it was actually pretty good.
I just didn't like the reboot they did, dude. The guy that played him from Watchmen.
Yeah.
That guy's an amazing actor. He's an amazing actor. He does great work, but he's not Freddy.
Nah, yeah, that shit was horrible. I didn't enjoy that at all, actually. There's a couple of reboots that they do come up with. They had the Friday the 13th reboot that they did back in what was it, like 2013 or so?
With Jason, or 2010.
Which one?
One with the guy from Supernatural, right?
Yeah. Sam. That was really, really good, man. I liked that. I thought it was incredible. I liked the way they did the story. I didn't like how Jason kept the girl in the thing. I never saw a movie where Jason was fucking keeping hostages. But
it's not like he was trying to hit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you got her in a cage for? Like,
chill here. I'll be right back. I go slay somebody.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but I thought it was actually pretty well done. It was pretty good killing in it and stuff like that or whatever. But it's like you said, man. It's like there is a lot of people. My father was just talking about this too, man. It's crazy, but it's a lot of things that are getting remade. There's a lot of things that are coming back, like The Matrix and things like that or whatever. And it's like if you do it right, I guess it's just is what it is. But yeah, you are missing some originality, man. I think with COVID going on, like these writers and shit should have had more time than ever to really make some, modernized or new day type of shit. So. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Somebody I work with at work, we're always talking about stuff like this, about how people can't be original. and it's like, take Child's Play for example, like
That
we've
was
seen
horrible.
we've seen a lot of these, and now he has his own series coming out, which might be pretty cool. But
Yeah.
we were laughing about it, making a joke out of it. It's like, with all these porn parodies out there they make of movies and all that, when are you gonna see some stripper put her evil soul into a dildo? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
A possessed
for real.
evil dildo. You know what I mean?
For
Give
real.
me the power, I beg of you.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely. I mean, it's like it's crazy you say it because like the porn parodies, damn near be better than the movie at the time. That Child's Play movie was fucking horrible. I can't even.
Which one?
The last one that came out, the
I didn't
remake,
see the last two.
not the Curse of Chucky. That was horrible too. But the remake, the one that they made that was in the movie theaters with
He looks all wooden.
Yeah, that shit. And what's his name? Mark Lucas was the not Mark Lucas, Mark Hamilton was the voice of him. And literally the stupidest shit I've ever saw. Me and my girl wanted to walk out the movie theater, yo. But basically it was like it had a part that just, spoiler alert. It had a part in it where basically like he was like a computerized, so he learned from what he saw and shit like that or whatever. So this is listen, bro. Listen to this shit right here. Listen, Beeline, listen. This guy, how he learned to kill somebody? This is how he learned to kill somebody. He saw Andy making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So he saw the knife that he was using. He picked the knife up and said, "Oh, this is how you."
Good Lord. This sounds like that movie Artificial Intelligence with a ghetto twist.
Listen, man, this shit was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess if you can do it right, do it right. But if there is some shit that you see it in the commercials and you're like, damn, I don't want you to touch that. I don't want it to go down in flames. But real interesting, man.
And that's why I'm so selective of what I watch as opposed to the music that I listen to. Because I probably listen to more music than I actually watch TV or movies.
Got you. Do you have any other music genres that come and are interested in coming on your show that you speak with?
I'm desperately trying to reach out over to Japan because there are two bands over there that I would love to get, but I think one of them are getting ready to wrap it up, and that's Baby Metal.
I never heard of that.
I don't speak Japanese, never have, never will. Yep. But I've been watching a lot of their performances, their videos, their concerts, and dude, I get into it. I don't know what the hell they're saying, and I'm just singing along, thinking to what I think they're saying, and I'm just rocking out to it. And I'm like, this is awesome stuff.
Yeah, yo, listen, I don't know what it is about over there, but as far as dominating the music, the pop culture, whatever you want to call it, man, those BTS guys, the Korean band or whatever.
I've heard of them. I don't pay attention to them, but I heard of them.
Yeah, motherfuckers right there. I know. My daughters, even my 2-year-old running around singing her song. There's my nieces, they all love them. I mean, they make good music. I'm not gonna hate. They actually do make pretty good music, but you know what? This is gonna sound bad. This might rub some people the wrong way, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't give a fuck anyway. But
blame it on the alcohol.
Listen, bro. Listen, it's a beeline right here. But to me, man, it's like whenever I see that, for some reason, I don't want to say something too bad, but whenever I see, listen, don't hate me for this. I'm trying to be as respectful as I can. Whenever I see like, a group of, especially like if it's Asian, I always feel like they're trying to just be really good at something. Like they're when I see BTS, I feel like they studied how to be a perfect pop group.
They have the new kids on the block taking concerts or taking notes.
It sounds so messed up saying it out loud, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm being dead ass honest. Like, I'm not trying to throw hate. I'm just saying it feels like they just mastered like the formula, and they said like almost like you know the fucking Goofy cartoons where like they create the evil version of the robots and shit. It feels like that. Like BTS just feels like they were formulated like, if you do this and you put it together like this, and then go out there and become amazing. And then they got the formula down. They knew the mathematics to the equation, and they went out there and just became a successful. It doesn't seem like organic to me. I don't know why, bro, but that's just how I feel.
Well, it's because you got that slug of a manager back there telling them how to do it, when to do it, and make sure you say "girl" every other word. You know what I mean? And make sure you cry just a little. That's how we'll get the money.
Oh man, it just really seems like that, bro. And I think it's just like also it's just like the history of just knowing that they go hard in the paint, getting shit done.
I'm really surprised that boy bands have been a trend that's never seemed to have faded away.
It has
as years have gone by.
Yeah.
I mean, we had back in the growing up, we had when I was growing up, we had Menudo and New Edition.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then here comes the New Kids on the Block. Then after that was NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys and LFO and 98 Degrees. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now I think BTS is the only boy band around right now. To be honest with you.
They have a couple of those that Korean pop music is dominating, man, right now. I mean, there's a lot. Pink ladies or some shit like that, whatever. Blackpink, I think their name is. I don't think they're boys, but I think they're like a girl group. It's like that's what people are listening to. It's really interesting that's like where the music trends are going. Remember, in the 90s, I know, like you said, it was like the NSYNCs, it was the Backstreet Boys, it was the Spice Girls. Remember all of those or whatever? S Club 7. Remember that shit?
Oh God. S Club.
Back in the day, man. Back in the day. But yo, keep in mind, I'm laughing and shit, but actually they had some pretty decent songs. Like all of them had some pretty good music.
Yeah, they had some hits here and there.
But it was trends, man. It was more of like a trend. It was fun to follow them. It was fun to collect their posters and be fans. And shit.
I didn't go that far with it. I mean, I like
I
ain't got no receipt hanging up in my bedroom. This ain't it.
but the Korean. I wonder why it's like such a a new thing to kind of as a trend to like listen to the Korean pop artists. Maybe it's because there's not a lot of American pop artists or whatever. I don't know if that's the thing, but they're doing something right because they're dominating.
That's one thing I love about music, though, the most is that music has been the one of the key elements that's always broken the ice and opened doors that brought people together. And for as much crap as we hear in the world about, how there's still racism and things like that, like take your ass to a metal concert or a rock concert, something like that, and watch the diversity and watch everybody have a good time together and not giving a crap about any of that. So I think that's why a lot of people are looking at other cultures now and really taking to it. Like that Mongolian band, The Who, they had a song called Wolf Totem. And it's all done in Mongolian, but man, it is amazing work. I mean, it's a song you could bop your head to. I mean, there's been rappers on YouTube that do reactions and they will watch this video and they get into it. I mean, they get into it, and music. That's why I love music. It brings people together. It blocks out the negativity and it unifies people a lot more.
That's really crazy. I've never even heard of them.
Yeah, check them out, dude. That song Wolf Totem is badass.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm just listening to some stuff now. I hear music by accident nowadays, man. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be like really heavy. I'm a little bit more into it now because I'm actually like trying to find new artists that actually have new music. So I'm hearing a lot of new stuff that I wouldn't hear like on the regular. I'm one of the people I listen to my damn playlist, and that's what I go by. There's times where I'll sit there and just to sit there and get a different kind of sound or whatever. I'll try to listen to like some new stuff that is out, but the convenience is just the easiest for me, man. I'm still listening to songs that I was listening to when I was a kid.
You and me both.
It's crazy, but isn't it crazy that you kind of just keep your generation? And I mean, if you can, you don't have to collect, you don't keep your CD player no more and all the CDs. Now the shit is just in your hand. You can listen wherever you want, whenever you want.
Well, believe it or not, I still got a couple CDs from back in like 2000, 2001 when I was going to the Chicago Metro seeing local bands play. I was getting demos handed out. I still have a couple to this very day.
Got you. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Me and my father were kind of talking about like how when he used to find artists, he used to back in the day it was like the cassette tapes. So like people who would do music or who would try to get discovered. You didn't have YouTube. You didn't have all this social media to immediately get your face out there. You had to go out into the parking lots of supermarkets. You had to go out on the street and really hustle, and just get a collection of tapes or CDs together, get some artwork done, and go ahead and push your CD. Just give people samples of your stuff. And that's how you got your name out there back in the day. It's a lot easier now, man. I don't think people really understand it. It's crazy because this conversation is deep. Like I always have this conversation I start by saying it's easier, but at the same time, because it's easier, more people are doing it, so it
makes it harder.
So it's a fucking yin and a yang to the whole situation. But
absolutely. I remember back in the day, it was like when all you had was the radio and just CDs or cassette tapes. If you didn't know of something, you didn't catch it on the radio. There used to be these things back then. They were called parties, and people would throw them. Just for the hell of having one, to socialize and have fun with your friends, make new friends, and people would play whatever the hell they wanted in the background. And good majority of the time, it's how you picked up on music you never heard of before.
Yeah, or in the clubs at least. I don't know how the club scene is anymore. I've been to a couple of different things, but it's just everything is so convoluted, man. I don't know. It's just things are difficult now. Everything is there's a lot of worry about stuff. I mean, for good reason too. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. People have too much information. I think we talked about this the last time we were on the show. People just have too much information, man. They know how to do too much shit. They know how to hate too many things. There's too many things for you not to like. It's like you just got too much information, man. And it makes having fun and enjoying life difficult because you're always worrying about, what's the next thing going on. You know what I've been doing, Mike? Not to switch the topic up too much, but I've been watching a lot of that kind of stressing me out or whatever. I've been watching a lot of forensic files and shit. I'm watching a lot of that shit. You know why? Because I don't know, every now and then I get these damn ticks, man, where it's like I just gotta watch some crazy murder stories and shit like that or whatever, just to see how crazy like people get, man.
Yeah.
And just listening to the stuff like that, just seeing you never really understand what's going through people's minds, people's complex, people different situations in their life that they've experienced. You could be talking to the most normal fucking person, and then all of a sudden, find out that they're a murderer of families and stuff, bro. It's crazy. It's really when you say things like, "Hey, you go to parties anymore?" and somebody's like, "No, I don't do that shit no more." You're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And then you go and watch forensic files.
Your friend calls you up, "Hey man, I just got 3 kegs."
It's
and Cheech and Chong just dropped by. What you want tonight? I'm just gonna stay home and watch some House.
Listen, I'm telling you, bro, I gotta be safe. I heard the shit. This guy was on there as a doctor who's dating a woman or whatever, and the doctor went and he didn't want to see her, or she was trying to leave him or something. And this fucking guy went and got the AIDS virus from one of his patients and stuck her with it and gave her fucking AIDS or something like that, bro. And it was all that stuff or whatever, and she died. And they had to trace it back through forensics and try to find this guy. It's just knowing that people are capable of that kind of evil, bro. It does get difficult to trust society sometimes, man. I ain't no damn introvert or nothing like that, but I think.
I have the same problem too. I like to form my own opinion. Yeah. I think a problem too, though, is that I think a lot of people just gotten so used to being told what to think and what's acceptable, and people have forgotten to. I'm not gonna say everybody, but I'll say a percentage.
Gotcha.
Just they'll watch something like this and they'll think it's okay, or they think that's what I'm supposed to do. Like when Dexter was on years ago, some idiot tried replicating what he was doing.
Yeah, man, you're gonna see something and be able to say, "Oh, I can do that too." If you can do that shit, I mean, that's half the people. I mean, that's just as little as just wrestling, like going to see somebody getting pile drived on their fucking head, and then you go and try it in your basement and murder somebody. You're just trying to just relive what's fake, or at least somewhat fake or whatever. But really interesting stuff, bro. Really interesting topics.
Yeah.
So, besides your show and everything like that, what else been going on with you?
I've been scouting this location up here that from what I understand, it's a pub grill that also has a stage. And I've been really looking at this, really wanted to be that first guy once this pandemic started dying down. And right when you think it's dying down, right out of left field, here comes a variant. Now we're right back to where we were almost. But I wanted to be that first guy to get a bunch of the bands from my show to do a bash, like the Stoverload Music Podcast special or showcase, and have, take it back to the old school days. Get a couple bands up there, go play, have some fun, get out the house, get away from the TV, go out, be social, have some fun, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been looking at that. I've been really thinking on that hard. about trying to figure out how would I pull that off? How can I accomplish that?
Have you ever done anything like that before?
Not with music shows, no, but I had a hand in throwing 2 wrestling shows way back in like I want to say like 2010.
Gotcha.
About 11 years ago. I had a hand in 2 of them, but that was as far as it went. But I never actually got to do that with a music show, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I mean, it's one of those things where if you advertise it right, it does kind of sell itself, especially if you can work something out well with the venue that you're working. I know my father did a couple of events. I saw a lot of people put together a couple of big events and stuff like that, even when they had to sell tickets and things of that nature or whatever, sitting at the door and having security and all that or whatever. I don't know how deep. If you get a place that's just like willing that has all that or has food even. Food is like the biggest shit. Like if you get food somewhere, your party is established. Like people are gonna come to eat. But I'm just having some good music, like you said. People want to vibe out too, man. People want to be in a nice environment to just kind of forget their problems and shit like that or whatever and escape for a little while. Whether it be a comedy show, a wrestling show, there's a lot of different things you can do. I think it's a good idea, man. Is there where are you established again? I forgot.
I'm up here in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Oh, that's right. You're in Wisconsin. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and there's a lot of bars up here everywhere. And not that I'm saying that they shouldn't be open right now because of the pandemic, but you know what? People are tired of staying home. They're stressed out. They're fed up. And people need a place to go just to unwind and get out the house and chill. You know what I mean? And be social among people again. And I don't blame them one bit. And you know, what better way to chill than to go hang out with some buddies, see a band play. It's not about going out and getting drunk and getting lit. It's just about going out and having some fun, for crying out loud.
Yeah, you missed that. You definitely do miss that. I mean, as you start to get older, like, you know, I'm experiencing now, like I was all about going out, wilding out, you know, having fun when I was my 20s and everything. But I'm older, I got a family. I'm always more about the, like, you know, just like the lounging environment, not even like a lot of people environment. I hate going to places where it's 1,000 people's around. I can't really, you know, sit down and relax and enjoy myself. I'm not into that no more. I'm more into like nice place. I'll go to a comedy show in a minute. Comedy show, funny guy on stage, get a little bit of food, a couple of drinks or whatever, and you just sit back and laugh for like a couple of hours.
Yeah,
that's my life now. You know what I mean? I do love, like you were saying, not so much like the really big events where it's like 1,000 people and it's like, you know, you're outside. But I love the live shows, man. I've been going to those since I was a kid. Like you know, just seeing, you know, bands play, just seeing people singing, talent competitions. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's something to do with your night. It's something that's different. That's, you know, it's not always available. Yeah, I think that'd be a really good idea.
Yeah, I think the last concert I went to was back in 2015 at the United Center in Chicago. Was seeing Muse. Gotcha. That was a big event. That was a lot of people there, but that was a band worth seeing.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good idea, man. You should probably try to talk to some people and see if you can make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's that I'm working on. I've always wanted to get this reading program for kids to use comic books from like the 90s and the 80s, and they were clean and they were appropriate, you know, and they were all about the stories. And I'd let the kids pick out a character and they would have to read it out loud and interact with one another as if they are those characters. And it helps them with their reading.
That sounds pretty cool.
You know what I mean? It's just something to put something in the community that's beneficial.
Yeah, and that's a really good idea. One of the things that happened during the schools being shut down and people doing like the virtual learning and everything like that. My girl, she actually started IT tip, y'all. She actually started doing like a private homeschooling thing for my kids because they didn't really have such a successful year with the virtual learning. Right. They actually made honor roll and everything, but it was like when she would try to like ask them what they learned or give them like little tests or something like that or whatever, they really didn't retain a lot of it. And I think it was just because it was just such freedom being home and the environment was different. It was easy for them to kind of be out of that mind state once that, you know, laptop closed.
Yeah.
So she had started, you know, just doing like a summer school, and she just kind of, you know, she woke up, she made a lesson plan, she had chalkboards, she had them in here doing arts and crafts and stuff like that or whatever. Right. It was just something basic. You know, I think a lot of times people think they have to go through big things and get certificates and this and that or whatever. I mean, all you need is a plan, man. Like you got a good plan, you feel me? Like all you would need is to like spread it to a couple of people, see who would be interested, and just start it. Similar to the podcast shit. All you gotta do is just have a good, plan, have your little materials you need for it, and just start it.
Yeah, I mean, the podcast has definitely done a lot of cool stuff. I mean, we have a band named The Replica that's been on the podcast a couple times on the Rock Blocks, and they've been a guest too. Their newest single was a song called Get Up. And my next door neighbor has 2 little boys, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. The 3-year-old picked up on the song and he started singing it. I mean, he was getting down. He was into it. So it was the cutest thing ever. Then like the following night, I'm outside with them at a bonfire. And in the nicest way possible, he asks me, can I go see the guys that do Get Up, Get Up? And I'm like, I got to contact them and see what they say. So they actually set up a meet and greet for him. And he got to talk to them through a virtual meeting. And all he could say was get up, and we built this city on rock and roll.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Yeah.
So
the podcast shit really is. It's crazy that I don't know how your experience is, but it seems like it's similar to mine. Like you never knew where this was going to go when you started it. Like you might have had an idea, you might have had this, you might have had that, or whatever. But I think that's like the foundation for success, man. It's like, you might think you know what you want, or you might think you know what you're doing until like it starts to go that way. And then it's like,
got to start somewhere.
Wait a minute. Yeah. It's like, oh, now I'm sitting there getting like influence from different places I didn't even know. Like a little kid who's just liking the song he heard on my show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really interesting, bro. I mean, and that also speaks volumes for like, what you're doing. It's how you know you're doing it right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome, man. It was pretty cool that they were able to get that done for him. Probably made his day too. Like, maybe not on the radio, not anything like that or whatever, but just a song he heard, he liked. The most genuine of responses too, because the child just likes what they like, man. They don't care about your background and your history and shit.
Right. I
like the sound.
I gave him my phone, letting him watch the music video to it. And he was just so into it. It was just funny because like he looked like a little Chucky doll a little bit. It's dark as shit outside, and he's holding this phone, this light, and all you can see is his face and this red hair, and he's just sitting there, get up, get up, get up, get up, and he's like, let's sing it, get up, and he's going right back. And you get some lights here and there that light up a little bit, but all you see is that phone with that light shining on his face, and him sitting there just stuck on it, singing it.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, man, sounds like you're doing really good with the show, man. I heard a couple of the interviews, like I said earlier. Yo, listen, Beeline, make sure y'all go ahead. If you didn't last time, make sure you go ahead. If you new follower to the show, go check out Mike Stover, yo. And he's in Wisconsin. I mean, I'm pretty sure you do like virtual meetings and stuff like that with people as well.
I'm not against it. I haven't done any yet, but I'm more than happy to.
Hey, listen, if anybody hears that you got like a band, you got something, you even got a song or whatever, instead of going on TikTok all day, go ahead and hit up Mike Stover. He'll throw you on the rock block and, see what they can do for you. You might be able to get like, I know there's a lot of people doing like even these virtual, music events and stuff like that. My aunt was actually trying to do one at one point. I don't know how well it goes down, but I know people are making things happen, man. Like you said before, you still got to continue with your passion. You can't just, quit. You got to find a way to make it work.
Let me tell your listeners something. When it comes to your passions and your dreams, that don't stop for somebody else. It only stops when you stop it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's for sure. It's great advice, man. But Mike, hey, listen, I'm really glad to have you back on the show. Great conversation as always, man. We always talk about a lot of really cool stuff. Hey, much success to you. Go ahead, just you yourself shout your own stuff out. I want to let you get all your stuff out, and I'm going to put it in the description like I did last time and everything. But go ahead and put it.
Hey, I'm not a hard guy to find. I'm right now. I'm only on Facebook and on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook under Mike Stover. You can find me on Twitter under M Stoverload. You can also follow the show on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Buzzsprout, and Listen Notes.
Beautiful.
We are right there, and we're here for you. And you're here for the music. So let's all have fun. Let's get by and let's just do this.
Sounds good, man. And you can also catch him on the Beeline Web Show, baby. That's right. Mike Stover's back on here with the Beeline, talking to your boy Brian B. Yo, Mike, thanks a lot, man. It's been an amazing interview once again. Can't wait for you guys to see this. Hey, keep doing what you guys love, man. One thing that you have to know, like he said, yo, don't let nothing stop your success, man. You're the only one who can possibly stop it. Not a car, not a wheelchair, not a vulture, not a vaccine, none of that shit. You got to keep pushing through. Make your stuff happen. And also, while you do that, you got to stay true, stay positive, pay attention, damn it. And we going to talk to you later. Mike, we out, man.
Peace.